So growing up in my wine career in Constantia, Sauvignon Blanc and specifically aged Sauvignon Blancs was a big part of the story, and it was an incredible opportunity to taste these wines at a regular basis. And it's something I'm passionate about and really want to drive, because ultimately we are a young wine drinking culture. We enjoy specifically Sauvignon Blancs and Chenin Blancs really early. And they are lovely, they're very fruit driven, but it is a variety that does age incredibly well. And I find it becomes so much more complex, where it can be a little bit of a one-trick pony. If you drink them all young, they all taste very similar. But as soon as you give them a couple of years in bottles, they do just develop such incredible texture and become far more interesting wines, in my opinion. So wherever we get a chance, we like to show them and kind of give people the experience to see that you can actually give them more than 24 hours. So climate change is obviously a very big issue for us in all varieties. Sauvignon Blanc, I think, is quite susceptible to that in the sense that it is a high acid variety, and in warm vintages they do struggle. Whereas with the wooded Sauvignon Blancs, you generally speaking would use something that is already a little bit more tropical fruit, that is a little bit more sun exposed. You're not putting in the kind of greenest, most acidic wine in barrel. So it's something I think that works really well. You're already kind of starting into a more kind of tropical, voluptuous, bigger style of wine. So I think it's something that does give a lot of potential going forward with the uncertainty about climate change. And it's much easier to drive something into a more kind of tropical, kind of lower acidity space than it is to do it into a greener, higher acidity space. So I do think there's a lot of merit in the wooded Sauvignons in that class. I also believe that the winemakers are handling it a lot better. The class is growing. I mean, we had close to 30 entries this year. So every year that kind of nudges up. Wood extraction is handled very well. So I think people are really getting to grips with the whole vineyard selection and then barrel selection process thereof. And I think it's something that we could potentially do incredibly well. And it's a space not really owned in the world market. So I think there's a lot of potential for that.